What is homeopathy?
Well, there are lots of kinds of homeopathy. It was originally discovered, a method discovered by Samuel Hahnemann around the turn of the 19th century, right at the beginning. But to cut to the point, the kind of homeopathy that he discovered is now called classical homeopathy, and I'm trained in classical homeopathy. And classical homeopathy is based on 4 principles, the first one of which all classical homeopaths agree with, and that is that instead of treating a symptom by its opposite, that is, instead of treating fire with water, you treat fire with fire. So that if somebody has an itch, you give them a medicine which is called a similimum, or which would give them a similar symptom if they didn't have a symptom. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So if somebody has an itch, you might give them a medicine made from poison ivy, and that would drive the itch out. So that's how homeopathy would work, on the basis of the similimum principle.
Okay. Now, you mentioned to me when we spoke earlier that there are 4 principles.
Yeah.
Could you identify them?
Yeah. So the first principle is the principle of similimum, or treating like with like.
Could you start that again, please?
Yeah. So the first principle is the principle of the what's known as the similimum, or treating like with like. The second principle is to give a single dose, so that when you give a remedy or a medicine, they're called remedies, that you know what is producing the effect, and you don't have a lot of competing substances in the treatment, so that you can keep track and be scientific. The next principle is that the remedy